My name is Fabiola Menchelli. I'm from Mexico City, and I came to BMIS to do a residency from June 13th to August 22nd. I'm a photographer. I did my MFA in mass art in photography under Abelardo Morel and Laura McPhee from 2011 to 2013. I was really excited that BMIS had a darkroom, and like the first week I went in there and like cleaned it out and like started buying chemicals, and then I started doing like some black and white printing, but it wasn't doing what I wanted. So I had a project in mind from like a few years ago that I wanted to do cyanotypes, which is like the oldest kind of rephotographic kind of method. Part of the reason I wanted to do cyanotypes was because there's like a first meeting of architecture and photography in the late 1800s when they start using cyanotypes to print blueprints. And it's kind of like a practical relationship between both mediums. It's not just a documentation of photography onto architecture, but architecture using photography for a practical medium. Well, I have a family of like very creative people, but my mother is an architect and so is my brother. And where I grew up in Mexico City was like a kind of suburb, and it wasn't under development. So when we were little, we would run around the streets all the time, like with bikes and stuff, and get into like construction sites and just play around, be chastened out by like the workers because it was dangerous, and then like we would sneak back in and like just play around with like all these like broken glass and like I don't know, like columns and like holes and stairs without like handlebars and things like that. So I guess that kind of created like a big impact in the way I work, because it's always related to either like place or space. And also there's a thing about like a human construction of the world. I'm not talking about the natural world. Like I'm talking about you constructing your own reality kind of thing. Your perception of reality is really your reality. So you have a hand in it. Like you can change it, you can change your perception, and therefore like your reality can change of it. So if you think that your vision of this world is like super established, then it will be like very frustrating to try to go against it. But if you constantly think that your perception is just like one point of view, and things can be looked at from many, right? Like it can be modified. So all these started kind of influencing me, and that's why it kind of becomes very supposedly rigid. I got some like really good results. I'm not sure if I would show it this year. Like I would like to work on it a little bit, like push it a little bit farther. But somehow I really got good results, and I learned so many things. Like now I can kind of control it or not control it as much as I want to get like a different result, right? So I think there's so much more to do to push this. But it was a great beginning, and it was a great opportunity to like just explore and learn and make mistakes.